Good morning, good morning. Right back like we never left. Another Saturday morning with the W Show, Kansas City, talking sports and pop culture. If this is your first time checking us out, we greatly appreciate you making us a part of your Saturday morning. A Saturday morning that is like, we don't have any sports going on in Kansas City today.
What you mean?
The Royals. We got the Royals. We got
Sporting is playing.
Sporting is playing. I'm going to Sporting.
Come on, man.
I'm going to Sporting.
He just told him.
Aaron Ladd, KSHB 41's sports anchor.
Appreciate that.
What's happening?
It feels good to be back, man. Appreciate y'all having me.
Yeah, man. You know, you're a friend of the show now, so you always invited
Gotta
on.
be something.
All you
like
gotta do
that.
is come knock on the door, ring the bell, whatever. We open up for you. It's all good.
Nah,
Stick in the door.
it feels good to be back. Appreciate y'all having me.
Of
Definitely.
course, man. Got Airborne on the show this morning.
You know what? It's officially airborne because this is the day I got my wings
Okay.
12 years ago.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So all my brothers that graduated with me, airborne leads the way, baby.
And he's not talking about flying the plane. He's talking about jumping out of a
Jumping
plane.
out of it. Yeah.
Thank you for your service, sir.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Take donations.
Cash app.
All of that.
DJ Q is doing they always do like inductions on 18th and Vine for the Jazz Walk of Fame. So DJ Q is the official DJ for that this morning.
Always active.
Yeah.
He's always somewhere involved in the mix.
Yeah.
Salute.
Remember when we pulled up to my stepmom's surprise?
Oh, he was DJing like a party.
I was like,
super random.
yeah, very.
And Q was just in
Yeah.
there like, what y'all doing here? We're like, what you doing here? So, Aaron, man, how's everything been going with you, man? You know, sports and 41 and everything like that.
It's going well. Off-season mode. I've been trying to take some time off, trying to get away. But this Chiefs off-season, my goodness. And this week included.
A lot.
You know this. You were just at the White House, but like going through it, we had the parade and all that entailed there. The stadium vote and all that happened and all that fell through.
Yep.
Harrison Butker, Rasheed Rice, Wanye Morris, now BJ Thompson.
Yeah.
Xavier Worthy getting his car stolen.
I mean, it
Yeah.
feels like it really we have not been able to really I mean, now is the time, right? Mandatory mini camps next week, and then they kind of go away for a little bit. I hope that the Chiefs can stay quiet over those 4 weeks. I really do, because it's been a tumultuous offseason.
Yeah, but you know what? The last time that they had an offseason like this, they won a Super Bowl.
He don't like that.
Yeah, he does not like that.
He
only could hope that his 49ers would have an offseason like this.
Listen, we have a great.
Oh, yeah, I got Brandon Ayuk. That's news.
Yeah,
Christian McCaffrey, new contract.
We picked up Collins from the Texans, good defensive tackle.
But y'all need like some negative press.
That's the only way. You
That's
gotta have yin and yang.
Yeah,
It
you
can't
gotta
all
have some
be
negative
positive.
press.
You know what? I'll give the Chiefs some negative press. Just let me work my airborne magic. Get something sprinkled on for them.
All right, we got a lot to talk about on today's show. Of course, we're going to dive into Chiefs. We'll talk NBA playoffs, Kristaps Porzingis. We'll also talk Caitlin Clark and Chennedy Carter. WNBA talk. We'll have some Anthony Edwards, Cameron, that whole ordeal.
Adidas has been on a run. Those ads have been real interesting. This last one especially.
They have.
Cam?
You don't like him?
No, I'm trying to figure out, listen.
All right, so Chief safety Justin Reid and Trey Smith, they hosted a charity softball game at Legends Field. So dozens of fans went to Legends Field on Thursday. And Aaron, you were there. What did you
This is
think?
my second year in a row.
Mhm.
This one was different. I think it was MVS last year who was kind of carrying a torch for it.
He carried a torch.
see, he wakes up and wants
Yo,
violence. That's his thing.
Yeah, this year it was Trey Smith and Justin Reid. No Mahomes this year. I think he was probably tapped in with the NBA Finals.
Mhm.
And you could tell it's a difference when 15 shows up somewhere. But it was still
Of
a really
course.
cool event. Guys like Nick Bolton, Trey Smith, and I noticed no wide receivers, no offensive guys were there. It was interesting. Maybe that leads into what they were the offseason. Maybe that you felt that a little bit. Obviously, that this was fresh off the BJ Thompson incident and all that.
It was. They did a moment of silence for BJ before the game as well.
I thought it was cool. It was cool to see camaraderie. These guys are trying to accomplish something that hasn't been done before. Win 3 consecutive Lombardi trophies. So, this is one of those camaraderie, team building type events, and the Kingdom showed up for it.
And you know what though? And one of the things that people, I don't know if other people are noticing this, but Steve Spagnuolo,
Yep.
He shows up to everything.
there.
He showed up to Kelsey Jam. And I'm
he was
like,
at Kelsey Jam?
He was at Kelsey Jam. and he walks in. He's cool. Like Kelsey Jam, he showed up with his wife. And at the softball game, he just showed up walking, and I'm like, Spags. He's like, man, what's up? How you doing? And he's like, I see you everywhere. I said, no, I see you everywhere. and Spags, that's one of the things too. It's like I was looking at like what the difference is between Spags and Andy Reid. Like why does Andy Reid, like you see Andy Reid show up to like the White House and show up to like functions of where you black tie events.
He's not at Kelsey Jam.
He's not at Kelsey Jam. He's not at the
he's not at the J. Reid
softball game. Yeah. So I'm gonna ask you this: what do you think the difference is in Spags showing up for things like that?
That's a good question. I think on a very general level, as a coach, as a teacher, you want to be there for your students in the same way that they're there for you. Like Spags, we always hear how good of a teacher he is, how good of a molder he is, especially with young players.
Right.
I mean, they have to see you outside of the classroom. They have to see you outside of the context of football. You supporting who they are outside of it. I don't want to say Andy Reid doesn't do that. Maybe he's later along in his career. He asks in a different way. He serves in a different role. I certainly see Andy Reid as like a CEO type.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? He's a little bit more of a CEO, whereas Spags, I don't want to say as a middle manager, but a little bit more so.
More grounded than Andy.
Exactly. Andy is the principal at the high school, and Spags is like he's like the cool counselor. He's like the cool math teacher or something.
He like the teacher when you walk into the classroom. Y'all seen the I think it was like TikTok where he greets every student like with a different handshake for everybody. That's Spags.
Yeah, everybody's got their own teaching style, basically.
I think he's just a good player's coach. You know, he's that teacher that, other than the handshake, you know, when it's the hall freezes, you can run in his class and he'll save you. You know, like come on in there, sneak in here, and then give you some type of, you know, some advice. But I don't really like Spags though.
Oh my
I don't
goodness.
know. You know what?
He just said he's a player's coach.
Every segment is gonna be some hate over there.
It is for the Chiefs. I just have to do this. I'm sorry. Like you asked me something about the Chiefs, it's always going to be something negative. And on top of that, I accidentally have on a Mahomes shirt. So
wow.
You didn't even have to tell us that. We would have never known.
I'm gonna be transparent. I'll tell you why I have it on.
Okay, why?
I want this bad luck to just rub off on you guys, man. Like, you guys really think you're gonna three-peat? Like you brung this up like it's actually gonna happen.
You know, it's gonna be tough, but if any team has a chance to do it, it's this team.
No,
that's just being honest.
And you say that because of the quarterback?
I'm saying that because of the quarterback. I'm saying that because of the tight end. I'm saying that because of the defense that they have. Minus L'Jarius Sneed, I feel like that defense is solid.
It is solid, but I just know this is going to be you guys an excuse when you guys do lose. Like, oh well, nobody's never done it. That's going to be you guys.
Is that the excuse? Or my excuse is like they just got beat.
I think it's going to be tough to overcome this. I mean, we'll get to training camp, and really through 10 games last year, they were a shell of themselves. So it's about when they find themselves compared to the NBA Finals this year. Dallas wasn't really what they are now throughout the regular season. And even like going into the playoffs, they figured something out down the back half of the season, kind of similar to last year's Chiefs. If they can do that again this year, anything is possible because, like, I agree with you. They have the best quarterback in the league.
Yeah, and you look at their Super Bowl runs. Then go back to 2019. I can't remember what was that, week 7? Mahomes hurt his knee at Denver.
Yeah, it was later than that.
Was it? Okay. Well, I guess the point is like, they always have something going on during every season. Last season, you think about just the drops, the wide receivers. Can this offense, they can't score points, it's red zone, but the defense showed up. So like this season, what can it be? I'm not saying that there will be anything because I mean they may just run the table.
Yeah, what?
I was waiting on that.
Like, what? Like, first, you couldn't remember if you had a sporting event today. Now they're gonna run the table. Hey, your analysis right now, baby.
I mean, no, I'm just saying that, and that's just far fetched. But the only team that could possibly do that, just right now on paper, is the Chiefs.
No, I think it's hard to maintain that level of focus and commitment for 3 years straight. That's why it's never been done.
Okay.
Plus, I believe that the press that they're getting in this offseason, like, you know, getting one, it wasn't really a surprise, but it was a surprise because of Patrick Mahomes. And doing it the second time, I was like, okay, now this guy is a GOAT. But 3 in a row, I don't know. I do not see it. I believe that losing L'Jarius Sneed, not really doing too much on the defensive end, in my personal view,
Mhm.
for the cornerback situation or whatever. And I believe that every team now is going to come at you hard. Beating Baltimore in Baltimore,
As opposed to every other year.
no,
I'm just saying.
I believe in the AFC beating Baltimore like they did at home and Buffalo at their place. I
Mhm.
think that's really going to put like a salty taste in their mouth to where they're going to come in here and they're just going to whoop them.
They've been doing that. Like, they've beat Baltimore before. They've sent them home. They sent Buffalo home twice. They've sent Cincinnati home.
They sent them home in their crib at the Kingdom, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think beating Baltimore when Baltimore was favored, beating Buffalo when Buffalo was favored with the type of team that they had, and then the way that they lost. Baltimore didn't run the ball.
Let me ask you this, but when have the Chiefs ever been favored? Think about it. You get early on in the season, you get, well, the next coming of Jesus with Buffalo quarterback, Josh Allen.
He's the truth.
Okay, then you get Joe Burrow. When has Mahomes and this team ever
Joe
been
Burrow
favored?
beat you guys.
I'm gonna ask you that too. They have never really been favored.
Joe Burrow beat you guys here.
They did. He did.
Yeah, and went to the Super Bowl.
That was after. That was a meltdown in the second half.
Meltdown.
I think the Chiefs not being favored in those games is us looking at the rest of the team and saying, can Mahomes really do it with blank?
Of course.
Because the wide receiver room, like you said, MVS, he was the veteran leader in that room last year. You were depending on him to be the example to set the tone. You leaned on Rashee Rice down the stretch. Now he has a potential 6-game suspension on the table. I think they're not going to be favored in a lot of things down the stretch because maybe there's some adversity through that. Trying to get Xavier Worthy up to speed. We'll see if Pacheco can play a full 17-game season. I wonder once again more about the offense. I think defensively, and you said they didn't really do enough on defense. They signed the best defensive free agent technically out there this offseason and getting Chris Jones back. That was a deal that loomed over this organization for 2 years. And they got it done at a discount.
And don't forget, he sat down at the beginning of the season and was like, hey, I'm just going to watch the game
missed
for my
his first game. Miss ring night.
He got his money.
Yeah, that he did. But
I said you should have traded him a long time ago, though.
All right, moving on to NBA Finals. Kristaps Porzingis, he returned to power as the Celtics blow out the Dallas Mavericks in NBA Finals Game 1. What y'all see from Game 1?
It was close for the Mavs stormed back in the third quarter and cut it to 8. Yeah. And we saw more of the other guys involved. Of course, it's just the Luka and Kyrie show for a little bit, and I think that's not going to get it done against Boston.
It's not.
But when they're moving the ball, especially that lob to Gafford on the lob spot, that was killing it in the Western Conference Finals. I'm not sleeping on Dallas getting Game 2 here and it being a split. I want a series out of this, and I could see that in Game 2.
They only had 9 assists, so it's not a lot of ball movement. I think Boston did well on they sunk into the paint and stopped those pick and rolls for those lobs. And PJ Washington, Lively, and Derrick Jones Jr., they're not one-on-one type of players.
Yeah, role guys.
Yeah.
But on the pick and roll, when they sunk in, they were allowing them to shoot and they weren't hitting shots. I think they shot, 30-something%?
Yeah, and you talk about points. Luka led all scorers with 30 points, 20 rebounds. Kyrie, 12. PJ Washington, 14 points, 8 rebounds. Celtics, Jaylen Brown ended with 22 and 6. Tatum, that was a surprising
13.
factor. 16 points, 11 rebounds.
They made a lot of threes in the first half. I think they made 11 threes in the first half. That's how you build a big lead.
And then Porzingis, after being out 36 days, 20 points. No one saw that coming.
But I had heard rumblings that maybe he was healthy and could play, but they felt like they could handle Indiana without him, and they kind of wanted to get him as healthy as possible for potential. And that's what it kind of played out like. I mean, he looked motivated, didn't look like the moment was too big for him. Defensively as well, some of those blocks were big momentum plays for them.
Pace people's shots.
Yeah, that gave a lot of energy and effort to them, especially at home.
And you think about just the fact that they're at home, the Kyrie rumblings of you haven't won in Boston, haven't beat Boston. It's like, do you think that plays a factor in when you're going up against a team that, is going for a championship?
I just think it was just a bad game. I don't want to put too much stock into Game 1. I just think it was just a bad game. I believe that Dallas, they beat Minnesota, who had the number 1 defense in the league.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a better matchup. KP came out and balled, but I don't think that Kyrie's going to have a game like that to where he shoots 30-something% and goes 0 for 5 from the 3-point line. I don't think that's going to happen in Game 2, and I believe that if PJ Washington And I said this before, and Derrick Jones, if they can switch on defense and kind of maintain Tatum and Jaylen Brown and score buckets, then they can win. They cut it down to 8. I believe that if Kyrie is playing a lot better and they have more than 9 assists in that game, then they can win and get one in Boston.
I do think offensively, though, let's say Kyrie has a good game. He gives you 28. Luka has a good game. He gives you 32.
Mm-hmm.
Boston can match you on offense. Can Dallas's defense slow down Boston's offense when they're running at peak efficiency? When Jaylen Brown is giving you 25, when Tatum is giving you 30, when Porzingis is giving you 22, when Al Horford makes his threes. Like, I think when Boston is clicking at all cylinders, their elevator goes to a different floor.
And we all know game 1 is always a filler game, but game 1 can also set the tone. So when you think about it, you got 6 guys, you mentioned 3, you got 6 guys that's scoring in double figures. That's hard to beat on any level.
Luke has been in the league, 6 years now?
6, 7.
He's had 9 playoff series. 8 out of 9, I believe, were on the road. Look where he's at. So that's why I can't take too much stock in this, man. He's been on the road. He was on the road this year. They was a 5th seed.
Okay.
I think they can get it done. I don't KP going off like he did, I believe Jason Kidd's going to have a strategy for him. I think that Lively and PJ Washington will probably play better. And I don't think that KP's is going to have that big of an impact in the game, too. It's going to be tough. You out 36 games, you come back to the drilling is pumping, you're scoring points, whatever. You got the mismatches. I think after, running up and down that court for 30 minutes, I think the body's going to get sore, and I don't think he's going to be able to recruit in game 2.
And I'm going to ask both of you guys this. Aaron, I'll start with you. If Dallas does not win game 2, can they pull it out?
Nah, it's probably over after that.
Okay.
You don't believe they can win 2 at home? You think Boston can still win in Dallas?
Well, then your margin of error numbers-wise.
With the Mahomes hype tape? You going to go again with the Mahomes hype tape? I thought you guys were Chiefs fans. I thought you guys
No.
Well, I understand you said you're a Falcons fan.
Yeah.
But you guys don't believe in that hype that is just going to just pump them up and Luke is going to come out and hit 50?
But Dallas is favored.
Boston's been the best team all year.
We're pretty consistent.
Yeah. Outside of a bad stretch at the end of the regular season when they basically knew that they had the best record and it was going to run through them. But it's weird. I mean, Joe Mazzulla says a lot of weird stuff in the press conferences.
He does. Dude.
He does.
That guy.
But then their other coach was kind of different, though, too.
Oh, eBay?
Yeah.
He was a fan. He's a fan. He's a fan.
Yeah. Yep. Most definitely. Since we talking fans, there's been a lot of fans that like Caitlin Clark and don't like what Chennedy Carter did to Caitlin Clark last week. Let's see what happened.
She has been terrific. Mabry doubled off to Carter. Her jumper is good. Chennedy Carter now with 12 points off the bench. And Clark. I mean, that's clearly which was called. The question is, will they call it unnecessary? Chennedy Carter.
There's been a lot of talk about this incident this
Too
week.
much talk. And now we about to add to it.
I want to get you guys' thoughts on this and the Caitlin Clark. Oh, she's getting, bullied. She's this, she's that. Is that a thing?
No.
Okay.
I don't understand when did basketball become not a contact sport where it's not a physical game.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out why are we uncomfortable for something that Caitlin Clark is not uncomfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really tough for men in this capacity to speak about women's sports because of the masculinity that's out there, and we don't know how to kind of hone in and kind of speak of them. But this is a physical game. She's a rookie, just like any other rookie in the NBA that gets a little bit, a little extra elbow or a little extra push or so to say, hey, welcome to the league. They only have 3. Remember I said this last week, 3 weeks to prepare for the WNBA season.
Mm-hmm.
They go from college basketball to the pros. That's a huge jump. Like, just think about NFL players and how much time that they have and that rookie curve that some of the players that have to take, how you had to set Patrick Mahomes for a whole year just so he can hone in and just grasp the speed of the game. She's grasping the physicality and the speed of the WNBA, and now we're sitting over here trying to baby her. Yes, she is the perfect storm for the WNBA to where it's getting a lot of, onlookers and a lot of different, fans. But I don't believe we have to coddle her through this whole process.
I'm with you on that. Where I disagree is you said she's a rookie just like anyone else. So she's not like any rookie. This is like great white hope type stuff when we're talking about Kayla Clark. I mean, it really is. Like a lot of her fan base, she went to Iowa, she plays in Indiana now.
Yeah.
I hate the Magic and Bird comparison that they do with her and Angel Reese because Caitlin Clark is not an immediate star in the WNBA.
She's not.
She's not. She's going to have to work up to that. And there's a new wrinkle with that came out today where she was left off the United States Olympic women's basketball team roster. She wasn't the top 12. And I think one of the quotes was her fan base would be, or one of the quotes from USA Basketball Executive is her fan base would be upset with her playing time because she's not one of the best 12 players in women's basketball right now, which is a stark difference from what we saw in college basketball.
Right.
Yeah.
On those college basketball floors, she was the best player, dominant, logo threes, 40-point games, dragging Iowa back to the national championship game in consecutive years. Like, it's different. So I think we're seeing WNBA fans rebel against her fan base rebel against casual fans.
Yeah.
It's like a nasty gumbo stew of all these issues, race issues. Now we're using these things to reflect how we feel about ourselves and women's sports. The play itself, I think, is just a flagrant foul.
Yeah,
it wasn't a basketball play. She hip checked her, and that kind of thing was dirty. But all of the think pieces and the reflections and all that stuff after that, I think it tells us more about sports and where we are right now than it does about what Caitlin Clark is as a basketball player.
But what it does too, it gets people more. And I've been saying this because we're not one of those shows where we haven't been talking about the WNBA. We've been talking about the WNBA for years, and I've been saying this: that the WNBA and Q got on me, but when I said this like about 3 or 4 years ago, I said they need some kind of fight or altercation. Here, every now and again, you need that amongst ladies, like in the sport, and we see that. And what is it doing? It's getting every news outlet, CNN, talking about the WNBA and Caitlin. And if it happens to just be Caitlin Clark, it happens to be her. And Angel Reese came out and said, "Oh, well, I'm the villain. I'll accept that villain role." And I'm basically the reason that people are talking about the WNBA because of what we did what I did in the national championship game. Don't forget about that. So I feel like this is what's needed for ratings to be higher. We also talk about the money issue that's around the league, and they don't have enough of it. This is what you need. It's like a reality series, right? A reality show. You need that Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese type thing. It's
kind of like an injection of, like, the league was growing. I think we can agree with that. A lot of people are owed success for where the WNBA is. It's not like Caitlin Clark was drafted last year and now all of a sudden a lot of people are tuning into this new league. Like, there's a lot of framework and bricks and foundation that were built in order for the Caitlin Clark lottery to kind of bounce off the way it has.
Yeah.
But you can't deny or knock either one for the role that they played in popularity of the sport.
I don't like the speaking of that the players are jealous of her. I don't understand.
You don't think that's true?
No.
Money wise, I do.
Listen, she got her money because of, middle American white woman that can ball.
Popularity.
She was the most.
Her popularity is the same as Larry Bird's. Her popularity goes with that as she is people can
relate to her.
Very much so, because she's a white American, and I think that's where the race notion comes in.
I think her size also matters as well. She's not like a large figure, I guess. Most people can see themselves in her shoes.
Yeah,
but I think that them being jealous, I wouldn't be jealous of somebody who's bringing extra money in my pocket. Like last year, they didn't have private planes; they was flying commercial. She comes in now. There's a different, like, hey, there's more odds.
I think that was already in the works, regardless.
I got a question though. Do you think that the hate would be a little bit different if she looked like Cameron Brink? Because if everything plays a factor, right? Middle American, white woman, great player, Indiana, Iowa player. Do you think that she looked like Cameron Brink?
What's Cameron Brink look like? Enlighten me.
You don't know what Cameron Brink from Stafford? That plays for the LA Sparks?
Enlighten me. I don't know.
Gorgeous. Tall glass of water.
No, I think it could be. It's who puts butts in seats, right? Like who's able to sell tickets, who's able to sell sponsorships, who's marketable.
There's got to
right?
be jealousy. There's got to.
I can't be jealous of that because one, they have a TV contract, right? So next
Yeah.
year the TV contract for the NBA is they're gonna have more money, which means bigger contracts. That's what allows Jaylen Brown to get $300 million as Jaylen Brown, right? So if the TV contract is more lucrative, then that's more money in the pie for the other WNBA players. So yeah, I would keep this controversy going up. If every game that I play against Caitlin Clark, I'm gonna be the villain, and I'm going to embrace that because now you have negative press and positive press. All I need her to do is just score 20, be a good ball player. I'm gonna give you a little elbow. I'm gonna push you.
You
a little
gotta
bit
win though, Mike. Like you can't just score 20 and your team still gets throttled like that. You still gotta win.
And I think the jealousy emerges from players who have played in the league 3-4 years prior, who are seeing the changes now that are saying, well, why are y'all just now giving us this because of her, somebody who can't even do the same things that I can do and have been doing for the past
because they didn't watch
years.
Because they didn't watch.
So the jealousy is in like, well, why? And trying to understand the like, well, what's the differentiator between, oh, just because she's the white girl from Iowa or she got the State Farm deal. I think, and also she went number one. Like in anything, I think anytime there's success, there's going to be jealousy.
You know who went number one last year in the WNBA? Her teammate, Leah Boston, who won, right?
Mm-hmm.
South Carolina. Hear nothing. What do you think the press is going to be like next year for that girl from USC if she goes?
Oh, did you?
And she's cute. Just think, but how would it go if Indiana gets the number one pick next year and they draft Juju? You're going to have 2 point guards on the team? What do you do then?
I don't think Indiana. Look, it all goes. Yeah, there are probably some women in the league that are jealous. More than half, I could probably say that.
Gotta be.
Right? Because of the money,
jealous.
because of the money factor, and because there is a lot of people like Aaron said that they feel like people are saying, oh, well, I'm watching the WNBA now because of Caitlin Clark. And the other women are like, no, we've been here. Like, we've been doing this. We ain't just a thing that just happened overnight. So, I mean, there's some jealousy out there.
I don't know. I just feel like, Jordan got roughed up his rookie year. Magic got roughed up his rookie year.
I mean, it's all a part of the game. Now, that part of it, I'm like, it's all a part of the game. Flagrant foul, yes. Because of jealousy, no. They're just like, hey, we setting the tone.
They were also jawing back and forth.
Yeah.
And
don't act like she ain't out there talking cash.
I was saying, like, I mean, we're sitting over thinking that, Kennedy was just like, you know what? I hated that you have that Nike deal. Boom. Like, no.
Oh, no.
Caitlin came down, she hit a bucket, and she started saying some stuff, and she gave a couple elbows, whatever, and they just reciprocated.
Yeah.
Like, this doesn't just stir up from anywhere.
Yeah. So
but I love it, though. I'm watching.
I'm watching, too.
Cameron Brink. I'll show you what she looks like.
And you did bring up the Team USA basketball roster. You got Asia Wilson, Breonna Stewart, Diana Taurasi, Lisa Thomas, Brittany Griner, Nafisa Collier, Jewel Lloyd, Kelsey Plume, Jackie Young, Sabrina Ionescu, and a couple other ladies. So you look at that roster, and there's still some other young ladies that were left off of the roster.
2 stories that should be headlining other than Caitlin Clark. One is Diana Taurasi's 42 years old and balling.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Let's be respectful. I saw a lot of shade on the timeline about her getting a slot on this team. Is that
She's
where you're
still
going
balling.
with this?
42 years old, though.
Her 20th year in the W also.
Still balling. Number 2, Brianna. Not only did she go to jail, she was in a Russian jail. This is not like she was in Jackson County just getting 3 hots in a cot. Like, no, they probably had her on a cold slab, like treating her like a prisoner of war.
Yeah.
And now she's back in the WNBA, balling and about to represent America.
Do y'all have any issue with this roster?
There are no WNBA rookies on this roster. I think
Right.
is one thing that I saw. So for our Caitlin Clark stands, there really is no precedent. There's no other somebody who just entered the league that's in there. I expect gold from this team and the men's as well. And it's going to be tough. It's going to be fun to watch. That's one of I look forward to every year in the Olympics is the
gold medal coming, Mike?
Not for the women.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. All right. The Lakers conduct a public coaching search, considering JJ Redick as one of their options. Aaron, what are your thoughts on this? Because
why you say it like that?
I just, to me, I feel like it's, as always, it's LeBron James trying to control the narrative. And what LeBron James wants, LeBron James gets.
Well, it doesn't look like he's going to get it in this scenario. I thought they zeroed in on Dan Hurley at this situation. He's the front runner.
I think that's a smoke screen.
I don't think JJ's going to get it. I don't. One of these organizations has to relinquish the power that this man controls over their organizations. When I heard about JJ Redick, I was throwing up. Like, no, he's not proven. Never seen him as a coach. Like, no, right? I don't. He'd probably be a player's coach because he played in the league.
I think he knows the game as well.
Knows
he
the
talks
game.
about on the podcast, and also he's calling the NBA Finals right now, so he's tapped in. He knows a lot of people around the league.
But then think of this: if you're hired and you're on, and LeBron's on your podcast, and you're high, and the notion and the perception is that you were hired because LeBron James wanted you hired, and this is your first career, right? How many other players are really going to like that?
Yeah.
If the playing time doesn't go their way, if the scheme doesn't go their way,
respect is definitely not going to be there. I feel like you got your buddy that is a player. You're not going to be as hard as on him as you are a D-Lo or AD, right?
And
like it's like Brian's going to be out there telling guys like, all right, he's basically going to be telling JJ Redick his resume is a lot more accomplished than JJ Redick. So what is JJ going to tell LeBron?
And he's 40.
When you got 5 seconds left and they need to score a bucket, is he going to be able to draw up a play?
I don't mind the move if it's JJ Redick, because that to me says that this is LeBron's swan song. He's going to pair up with the coach that he wants for this last couple 2-3 years with the Lakers and bow out. Dan Hurley, in my opinion, is more of a program builder. You know, he's built in UConn, player developer.
I can respect that.
And is somebody that, while all reports show that they're trying to make a big commitment to him, like this is somebody that they would have post LeBron potentially. It wouldn't be just the next 2 years, which is the last few hires they made. I think it was Darvin Ham and Frank Vogel. I don't think either of them made it out of 2 seasons with LeBron.
Brian didn't respect none of those guys, man.
And Vogel won the championship. I think with the long-term deal and the big contract, I think that is putting a stamp saying, LeBron, this is our organization and this is what we're doing.
Taking back
forward.
Control.
Right. Because if you give a coach a huge long contract to where it's like 5, 6, 7 years, if you fire him, you have to pay him for 5, 6, 7 years. And that's not a bill that you want to keep just because your player doesn't, who's
like
only
$30 million or something crazy like that. Yeah.
I say this, man, and I know a lot of people look at me crazy. Oh, this hot takes. Oh, you just a Mahomes hater or whatever. But from the business,
Mahomes hater,
very much so. But from a business aspect, because I said this on Mad Dog Radio. What is it? 15 years ago, when everybody knew that LeBron was going to leave Cleveland, trade him, get as much as you can for him. Are you going to be able to really recoup that first year or second year? No. Look how Cleveland's been. Look how Miami's been. Do you want to be like those two teams who are trying to regroup and build up their franchise when you're a team with the magnitude of the Los Angeles Lakers? The answer is no. You can't have those years of that downfall being that type of team in the league and then have a coach that's going to be there for 7 years.
Whose trade value is more, LeBron or AD's right now?
Both.
No, which one is who has a higher trade value?
AD.
I said you should have traded AD after you won a championship.
You should have traded LeBron after you won the championship. Think about look how much they would have got back for LeBron then. And then let's say you keep.
You're not gonna be able to trade Bron right now.
You think?
Wow, if I'm an owner, I wouldn't want Bron. I mean, you're gonna get 1 year, maybe 2.
I think his contract right now, like he still has a player option for this upcoming year.
Right before the draft,
right before the draft, he's a free agent,
and want to do. And I think Rich Paul already said he was a free agent. I'll push back on the other side of the coin, the Lakers thing, and saying like, what have they really done outside of the Kobe LeBron years in the past 2 decades? Like if you're so interested in getting rid of LeBron and starting your future of your franchise, or like taking back control. So I mean, there's dark days on the other side of that.
After Kobe, they hired Magic Johnson and Rick Pelinka, Kobe's guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They drafted Lonzo Ball, which ended up being a mistake because he had the hype or whatever. They drafted Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma,
and they parlayed those guys into Bron.
And they parlayed those guys to get Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis, that's right.
And I was really, really disturbed by that because like the notion was that Anthony Davis was either going to go to Chicago or LA. I think that he would have picked LA. And I always say that if they would have waited until after and then just pushed in and got AD as a free agent, you would have had Brandon Ingram, D'Lo, Lonzo Ball, Larry Nance, Jordan Clarkson. Just think about the depth that they had. But they traded all that depth. Luckily, they won that COVID NBA championship, which kind of washes all those decisions away. But if they didn't win, if they didn't
I
win
like that. I like that because I don't agree with it either. But go ahead, continue.
If they didn't win that championship, how would the organization be looked at?
I don't think it's a well-run. That was the point I was making. Is it's not a well-run organization. They have to take shots. They do these big swings. This is not the first time they swung for a big college coach. They went for Coach K. They went for Roy Williams. Now they're going for Dan Hurley. Like the Lakers are not a development spot. They're not a spot where you get young players and turn them into stars. Like that's kind of what they do. They need to ride out with LeBron's last few years. That's
my pushback is they haven't needed to be. I mean, you went from basically the years of Magic into Shaq and Kobe, and then just Kobe, and then now Bron. Like you haven't had to really.
Last years were lean too. After Kobe's last title, it was some bad rosters.
Well, that contract that they gave Kobe at the end kind of handcuffed him or so. And then still being semi-competitive didn't give him a high draft stock. They did have the years in the 90s when Magic retired. So after that 91 championship, when he came out to the world with HIV or whatever, is when they had like Sedell Threat, Elton Campbell, Vlade Divac, whatever. You can understand I'm a Laker fan. But they had those years. Remember when Magic Johnson was a coach for like 15 games.
They did hang a banner this year. I forgot. The in-season tournament championship, in addition to the Mickey Mouse COVID ring.
I think that's a shot though. But I hate LeBron
right.
so I hate
hang,
LeBron so much
banners.
though that I would take that because it's like that banner does not no.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break. Coming up, we'll dive into since we talk contracts, we'll dive into Justin Jefferson's contract. He got a 4-year, $140 million deal. I'll discuss if you guys agree with that or not. We'll be right back. This is the W Show.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Come spin with us, Kansas City. KC We Spin 360 is the coolest 360 video spinner experience for events. KC We Spin 360 is taking it to the next level. The 360 video spinner platform rental will be the life of the party. Everyone will be talking about their 360 video experience while bragging about it on their social media pages. The captivating slow motion and reverse effects will have your guests feeling like celebrities. The KC We Spin 360 video spinner can capture slow-mo videos, GIFs, and boomerangs from every angle. Specializing in corporate events, weddings, social gatherings, bar bat mitzvahs, school events, and fundraisers, KC We Spin 360 can be found online at kcwespin360.com. Come spin with us, Kansas City.
Your loved ones matter the most. Take the burden away by pre-planning personal arrangements that fit you and your family perfectly. Golden Gate Funeral and Cremation Services will be here to comfort your family and take special requests. Plan and feel confident your loved ones will be less stressed and can console each other in their time of need. We will be here when you need us at 816-231-GATE or visit kcgoldengate.com. Exchanging your grief for a golden experience.
Football fans, you can't spell gate without Gates, and great tailgates start with Gates sauces and seasonings. Named synonymous with mouth-watering tailgates. When you make your list of tailgate essentials, add Gates sauces and seasonings to that list. Spice up your tailgate experience with that unmistakable great taste. Available in 4 tantalizing flavors. Classic, sweet, mild, and hot. Find it at your local grocer, and if you don't see it, ask for it. Visit GatesBarbecue.com to purchase any of the great sauces and seasonings. Great tailgates start with Gates.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Remember to use hashtag talk about it. We'll talk about any topic you want. We'll have a talk about it coming up later in the show. I know you guys really want to talk about this. Justin Jefferson agreed to a 4-year, $140 million deal. The Minnesota Vikings star wide receiver Justin Jefferson and the $140 million contract that he has now. Aaron, it's a new market now for these NFL wide receivers.
Highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. Salute him, man.
Mhm.
Worth every penny, because
And dime.
that offense, I don't know what they really are without him.
True.
We saw it for moments in time.
Sure, it wasn't
last
just Kirk
year.
Cousins. I'm trolling now. I'm trolling now.
That's my quarterback. That's my quarterback.
I know.
That's
That's
my
why.
quarterback.
That's my teammate.
It's my teammate.
Salute JJ. This is cool, and this line is gonna keep moving. I mean, we've seen it just this offseason. Jalen Waddle got the bag.
Mhm.
Justin Jefferson got the bag. Tyreek is already sending shots like, "Hey, Miami, y'all still ain't really giving me what I actually want."
Yeah.
Devontae Smith is the person I think got a little hosed. He signed before the market, before that line
Started
pushed,
changing.
and gave Philly that discount.
I think Jamar is probably next in line for
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Jamar Chase. T.
T.
Higgins
Higgins.
deserves
Higgins,
it.
yeah.
Deserves it.
I don't want to say deserve. You think T. Higgins deserves $130 million?
No.
He deserves to be in the room. I don't know if he deserves to be,
100 million,
doing
but
the
not
toast. but he
120,
deserves to be in the room.
122 million, half.
But you know how
Half.
it is now. You don't have to be the best.
Oh,
You don't have to be the best player. I mean, Justin Jefferson, I believe, is 1A or 1B as far as wide receivers. But you don't have to be the best wide receiver to get a big deal.
Wide receivers numbers that are pretty comparable. CeeDee Lamb, who wants a comparable deal. Should Dallas pay him?
Yes.
I mean, I think they should.
They got a lot going on right now.
They do.
Micah and the Dak deal.
Yeah. Sucks the draft well, doesn't it? And then have these players.
Yeah, but I feel like CD is will he hold out? I mean, we've seen what has happened to guys that are like, you need to pay me. Should Dallas trade him? What do you get for a guy like CeeDee Lamb? Is it a first rounder?
Just a
First rounder?
3 firsts and a player.
3 firsts?
Yes.
Okay.
Those guys just never hit the market. So
I know.
it's tough to really.
I know.
I mean, what did the Chiefs get for Tyreek? 1 first? And it
1
was like
first and a bunch of
31?
bunch of others.
So I mean, you really not, especially if the guy still has yet to be paid. I'm
Yeah.
taking that off the trade value then.
Yeah,
I
but
think
do
the
you pay
market's
CD?
changing.
Do you pay CD equal value?
Yes.
Okay.
I think Dak is the guy out of the bunch that you try not to pay.
Of course.
Micah, CD, and Dak. Yeah.
Why don't you pay Dak though? Dak's balling.
They don't
He
want to
not
get
top
put in
of market
contract
money.
purgatory.
He ain't top of market money though. Tua Tagovailoa asking for $40 million a year.
Tua shouldn't get it, but I'm saying who
If Kirk Cousins got that amount of money,
Hey, come on.
the reason why Dak should get it is because the quarterback position is one of the hardest positions in the NFL, right? Who can replace a Dak and give somewhat equivalent numbers? Because when you talk about top five quarterbacks right now, Pat,
I didn't even know you were gonna do that. I know that took a lot to get that up.
Yeah,
Listen,
that's one thing he would do. He
Yeah,
would say
just
he's the top in the league.
listen,
He'll
I
give
would
him his
hate.
flowers.
I would give you all the I wish this happens and all that or whatever. But I am a realist. Pat Mahomes number 1. Who's number 2?
I would
Lamar
Jalen Hurts.
Jackson. Ooh,
Jalen Hurts.
really? You taking Jalen Hurts over Lamar Jackson?
No.
Well, not last year is an
Jalen
outlier
Hurts.
for
It's very much of an outlier.
outlier. Not Jalen. I'm talking Lamar. Last year, Lamar was that's an outlier year.
What?
That's an outlier year.
No,
Like
it's not. He had 2
second
years
MVP
like that.
is
that's an outlier year. Yes.
Now we talk
That's
about
his best
hate.
year. Last year
When
was
we
his
talk
best
about
year.
hate, this is the face you want to see right here.
That's tough.
Listen here.
I would say Patrick. I would say
Lamar.
stop Jalen, and then I would go Joe Burrow in there,
Hold on. Whoa.
and
Listen,
then I would go Lamar, and then I go,
Josh Allen's not in your top.
God, I'm saying where did he just went?
I would
from
say
Jalen
Josh is
Hurts?
in there, but
Josh is not better than
out in that
Jalen?
game. I mean, they lost, yes, but I think the
So
narrative.
Josh is not better than Jalen Hurts.
no, he's not.
Listen here. So who throws a better deep ball, Josh or Jalen?
Jalen.
Josh. Okay, who can run the ball?
No, Josh. I'm
Josh.
messing with you, man.
Come
Stop
on,
playing.
man. You got Pat, Josh, or Lamar, Joe Burrow, and I'm gonna tell you one. And you know what? I love this dude.
We took Herbert out the top 5.
Thank you, and that's the one I was gonna do because he beat the Chiefs. Second game, his quarterback Tyrod Taylor got stabbed in the heart. You know what that dude came in?
Stabbed in the heart.
He got stabbed in the heart. And Justin Herbert came back and almost beat the Chiefs his first game. That was the first game. Tyrod got stabbed in the heart. They came up to Justin and was like, "Yo,
punctured
kid,
his lung.
punch it. Hey, man, that's close. That's close to the heart.
Stabbed in the heart. Come on, man.
And he just came in, and then
Now
he beat
you
him. Almost
trouble.
beat him twice in 1 year. Because oh man, Justin's that guy.
Okay.
That's top 5. Jalen 8, 9. Maybe I don't.
He's continually an NFC contender.
He played very well in
Well,
that
look
Super
at his
Bowl.
team.
He did.
Had
You
a
cannot.
very
You
good game
cannot
in that game.
disrespect that guy like
I'm
that.
not going to. No, I'm not disrespecting him. I'm
8,
just
9.
saying-
Come on, Mike. That's
Okay,
not
listen,
good.
So we got the 5. We got
Who you
Pat-
got? Never mind your 5. Who's your 5?
I'm in that. I don't really have an order, but yeah, Lamar, Pat, Burrow.
Is that your order?
Allen,
Lamar,
no.
Pat?
Lamar, Pat, Burrow, Allen. And then that 5th guy has kind of been a rotating piece. It's Herbert sometimes when they play well. It's been Trevor Lawrence at sometimes when he plays
Still got
well.
Lawrence, CJ Stroud.
I think Caleb Williams
C.J.
could
Stroud is
potentially come
creeping
in and
in
be a guy who challenges for the top 5 if he's a dual
Aaron
threat
Rodgers
guy.
is. I mean,
I'm
he
not doing that.
You're not doing Aaron Rodgers?
I'm not Aaron Rodgers.
Man,
Aaron Rodgers is no.
You on that same ayahuasca stuff that he on. That's what you on right now.
so you're talking about a guy who has 2 MVPs, right? Aaron Rodgers.
I think it's more than
Ooh.
2. I think he maybe have 4. I think Aaron Rodgers has 4. MVPs.
Okay, so then he's not in the top 10. I'm saying a guy who they traded and got a lot of pieces for, right? And
We're talking about guys that have played in the last year.
guys that haven't played in the last
That have played. So you can X him out. Like until he plays another game.
I would like to see it in New York.
Who do you-
It's been
okay,
2 years. I
so
have
the
not
second
seen
half-
him throw
so-
a pass
yeah.
to Garrett Wilson yet. Like,
So
I
the
wanna
second
see
half of the season, who had a better second half of the season? Jalen Hurts or Jordan Love?
Jordan Love did.
Thank you.
Jalen Hurts had a lot. He had a knee injury going
It's
on.
part of the game.
AJ Brown was injured.
Nutrition is part of the game. CJ Stroud or Jalen Hurts?
Listen to this guy. Listen to this guy.
Jalen Hurts or CJ Stroud?
Stroud had a good year, but I'm not ready to put him in that conversation yet.
Trevor Lawrence, Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts.
Oh, okay.
All right, man. MLB bans Tucupita Marciano for life for betting on baseball, and 4 others they get 1-year suspensions. Y'all agree with that?
Just they're being dumb about it, man. Yeah. And they're gonna set an example with these first few guys like the Jonte Porters of the world, and he wasn't even good at sports betting. Like the investigation revealed that he only won. Yeah, it's like, bro,
he's just like all
so
of
they
us.
said that Marciano
No,
placed
just
387 baseball bets totaling more than $150,000, and didn't get that back.
Listen.
But if we did the numbers on all y'all sports bettors, though, it would be kind of similar. Like,
Yeah, that's
if we
what I
had-
said.
if
He's
we-
just like he's one of us.
statistics.
Not 150K.
Collectively.
Not
You put
150K.
me and Pooh in the mix, like collectively.
But yeah, I would say if he was winning, then possibly. If he made money off of himself or off others, more than he lost.
This just shows how hard it is to gamble. Because if you're in the locker room and you know what's really going on, it's kind of like being a stockbroker, right? And they arrest you for insider trader. They win, right? When you get some stock information,
Yeah.
you know, the
already
Gordon
cashed out.
Geckos,
Yeah.
you're winning. You can't even win 20% of your money back. And you got the information like, oh, Blake Snell's not pitching today. Clayton Kershaw's not, and you still can't win.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you put a disclaimer at the beginning before at the end when you get, at the commercials.
Eventually, we're gonna have to crack down on like sports betting. I mean,
As I have a DraftKings shirt on. Crack down on it.
use promo code WALLS.
That's right, baby.
If you can sue for eating
plays.
too much McDonald's, can you sue for losing too much money in gambling?
I think it's just the advertising. It's in our face. It's in the middle of the game. The official or the announcers are talking about the line and plus movement and this and that. Like
On
the
people's
players are
t-shirts.
tempted now. The players are trying to find ways around it. College athletes, we've seen players in college now start to get cracked down on it. they're going to start. Eventually, they're going to start to.
Oh, talking about my guy in Iowa
some
who's doing the bets in the stadium.
Yeah, that just makes no sense. If you're gonna do it, you need to figure out a better way. You can better scheme.
Ohtani figured out a better way.
Right.
Blame it on the translator. I speak no English. He did all of that.
All right, coming up, we'll get to our Hater 11 segment. We also have a couple of talk about it. We'll be right back. This is the W Show.
Ohtani definitely.
Into the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Come spin with us, Kansas City. KC We Spin 360 is the coolest 360 video spinner experience for events. KC We Spin 360 is taking it to the next level. The 360 video spinner platform rental will be the life of the party. Everyone will be talking about their 360 video experience while bragging about it on their social media pages. The captivating slow motion and reverse effects will have your guests feeling like celebrities. The KC We Spin 360 video spinner can capture slow-mo videos, GIFs, and boomerangs from every angle. Specializing in corporate events, weddings, social gatherings, bar bat mitzvahs, school events, and fundraisers, KC We Spin 360 can be found online at kcwespin360.com. Come spin with us, Kansas City.
Your loved ones matter the most. Take the burden away by pre-planning personal arrangements that fit you and your family perfectly. Golden Gate Funeral and Cremation Services will be here to comfort your family and take special requests. Plan and feel confident your loved ones will be less stressed and can console each other in their time of need. We will be here when you need us at 816-231-GATE or visit kcgoldengate.com, exchanging your grief for a golden experience.
Football fans, you can't spell gate without Gates, and great tailgates start with Gates sauces and seasonings. Named synonymous with mouth-watering tailgates. When you make your list of tailgate essentials, add Gates sauces and seasonings to that list. Spice up your tailgate experience with that unmistakable great taste. Available in 4 tantalizing flavors. Classic, sweet, mild, and hot. Find it at your local grocer, and if you don't see it, ask for it. Visit GatesBarbecue.com to purchase any of the great sauces and seasonings. Great tailgates start with Gates.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
All right, you want to talk about something? Use hashtag talk about it, and we will talk about whatever topic you want. All right, we have a couple of talk about it this week, and the first one is it was just sent in by friend of the show, Darius. He said EA Sports leaked a teaser for the Madden 25 cover. Who do we think will be on this year's cover? I got CJ Stroud.
Is that you talking optimistically because you know there's a curse around the Madden?
No,
the Madden
I just think CJ Stroud is good for it.
He just wants to hate on the AFC.
I'm not hating on the
It's
AFC
always
team.
a motive, man. I know it is, man.
Stroud had one good year. Is he deserving of a Madden cover already?
No.
He said EA would make a killing if they put Kelsey on the cover.
Oh, what did I say? Put Kelsey on there.
Nah,
With a
man.
little Swift avatar on the side.
Come on, man. All right, our next talk about, or who you think? Who you got?
I'll go Joe Burrow or Christian McCaffrey.
CMC, yeah. Joe Burrow just sat out last year, though. Remember? I think, yeah, CMC will probably be it. Don't curse my team, though.
All right, our next one is going under anesthesia for tattoos cheating. So there's a lot of talk this week about going under anesthesia for tattoos, and a lot of guys have been posting their back tattoos. We had Mecole Hardman post something, LaMelo Ball, Deshaun Watson, Anthony Richardson. Is it cheating? I mean, because think about it. I feel like you got a lot of these athletes who want to get it done, within one setting. Most of the time.
How? Are there rules? I don't have any tattoos.
Getting tattoo. I mean, there's pain involved.
There's like a code of honor.
There's pain. Yeah. There you go. There's a code of honor. There's pain.
Ethics.
There's pain involved. And then it's like going through multiple sessions. Like I got my back done. I got to go to multiple sessions. I got the sleeve going. I got to get multiple sessions. Like it's levels to this.
Y'all gatekeeping tattoos now?
Of course.
I'm just thinking because anesthesia, it's not, people just think, oh, it's just no. What if you don't wake up? Like you trying to get your mama's name on your back, and, the whole lineage or whatever, and then you up there with grandma and stuff. Like, no, man. Like, stay up.
You join
come
them.
back. Yeah, come back the next day. R.I.P. Now you got to add your name to it. Like, come on, man.
All right, let's get to our Hate It or Love It segment.
Hate it.
All right, sneakers of the week we have this week. I want to get you guys' thoughts on the Air Jordan 6 reverse Oreos. What are you guys thinking?
Not bad, actually. That's versatile. That could go with a lot.
Why is the black Air Forces on there?
We're going to get to those. Nike Kobo. Nike Kobo Kobe girl dads. Got me tripping. Kobe Ford girl dads. Like those?
The girl, oh, yeah. I just said you got the plug. Let's get them.
Yeah, they all right. Nike Air Force One low. Perforated leather. They remind me of like the car seats with the air that come through. Your seats in your car. You got the airflow.
Air conditioning.
The air conditioning seats. Yeah, that's what they look like.
That's like what Andy Reid wears on Raider Week, basically.
Yeah.
All right, the Nike Zooms, the electric greens. I like these. These are kind of fun.
Yeah, I like those.
That's like New Balance one.
But
yeah,
put the black forces on there. They really trying to make a popularity out of what the black Air Forces stand for in our community to where it's like, yo, the release date. Like, nah, man.
All right, so a Kobe jersey sells from his torn Achilles game, sells for $1.2 million. Hate it or love it?
I love it, dude.
You love it?
Yeah, love it. Really cool. I hope it wasn't just a collector or somewhere we can see it displayed. I don't want it in somebody's crib, but definitely a memorable game. Because didn't he knock down the free throws afterwards?
He did knock down the free throws.
Because he's the guy, man. He's the GOAT.
That's legendary stuff.
All right, a Brooklyn man is arrested in sports betting scheme with banned NBA player Jonte Porter. Hate it or love it?
I love it.
Said he was fleeing to another country.
I love it, dude.
I hate it, man. Jonte, be smarter. The whole Porter family. What's going on right now? Stop it, man.
Carrington will be proud.
Michael Porter throwing bricks in the Western Conference playoffs. Jonte, what you doing? Texting about the Rico. Man, be smarter.
All right, Mike Tyson, Jake Paul fight rescheduled for November 15th at AT&T Stadium.
Hate it.
Absolutely.
Is Jake Paul considered a heavyweight?
No, he's not considered anything. This is just like a for fun. Like don't throw him in that.
No, this is a sanctioned bout. What you mean?
He said not considered anything.
Nah,
he says
this
he's
ain't
a boxer.
You gonna watch it?
I'm gonna watch it, of course. All right, divers discovered 25 bricks of suspected cocaine marked with fake Nike logos off Key West.
They suspected it was cocaine.
Yeah, there's one way to find that out for sure.
Yeah, I think they listen.
I mean, what are you doing if you're fishing and you get a trash bag full of cocaine?
Steve, come to pick me up. No questions.
Like, fishing trip is over.
No, I'm like, yo, because obviously we're in Missouri. If I fly to Florida, I'm like, yo, just come and pick me up.
No way.
You're not gonna pick me up?
No.
Hated it.
Definitely hating. We appreciate everyone who joined in on today's show. Remember to use #TalkAboutIt. We'll talk about whatever topic you want. Aaron, we appreciate you, man.
Yes, always good. Appreciate y'all having me. We're gonna have to come back when the Chiefs in the playoffs.
Where can people find you, man?
At Aaron Ladd TV on X, at Aaron Ladd 0 on Instagram. On your TV, KSHB 41 on the weekend.
All right. Until next week, we are out of here.
The views and opinions expressed on the W Radio Show by the host, co-host, guests, and call-in listeners are solely the opinions and responsibility of the original source who expressed them. They do not represent the opinions of the W Show, 100.1 FM, 1 Kansas City Radio, Sideline Sports Talk, TV.